Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a visualization for Benford's Law, and so that we can detect if, some company is having fraudulent, cooking up their books, having fraudulent data and everything. So this is what we're going to be recreating, and I'll just guide you step by step on how to do it. So here we go. So the data set that I'll be using is accounting CNO data 4. So you can probably download that. The data should be in the description. But what we're going to be doing is making some quick table calculations. So right now I'm going to be right-clicking, create calculated field, and I want to call it leftmost integer. And since I already created it for this particular example, we're going to be using this formula. And so basically what this right here is doing, it'll say it contains errors for me because I already made it. But this will just is basically saying, hey, we're grabbing the measure variable number. So if we go to our data source, we're taking number. So we're searching through this whole column of numbers, all of these different variables, and we're looking for the most left value, and we're only taking one of those. So 1, 1, 1, 7, 8, 6, 5. That's basically what this formula is doing right here. And so since I made that, we have it there already. And then the next thing that we're going to be making is Benford's Law. So same thing, create calculated field, right click on the tables part, create a calculated field, Benford's Law, and then the formula that we'll be using for this, I'm just going to copy and paste it here. So this is what we'll be using. Same thing because I already have it. So we're going to be using this right here. Okay. So in order to recreate that visualization, we're going to drag leftmost integer into rows and leftmost integer into columns. We're going to change rows into a count, measure count, and then click on the drop down menu again, and we're going to do a quick table calculation and do percent of total. So once we have percent of total, the next thing that we have to do is make sure we drag Benford's Law into detail, and once we do that, we'll change it from a sum into a minimum. So now since we have this all sorted out, now we're just going to add the distribution band. So if we go under analytics and go to this section right here that says custom, we'll drag distribution band onto cell. And so now we're just going to go into the values and change some of this. So we're going to do 80, 100, and 120. We're doing the percent of minimum Benford's Law. So once we do that, we're all set in stone. So now click out of that, and now we're just going to do some aesthetic stuff to make it look nicer. So the line, I usually do the thinnest line. Make sure to click fill below, and fill, you can choose whatever you want. I tend to choose stoplight since there's a red, yellow, green, and I will do reverse. And now we press OK. So now we have this. I can add a little bit more, and then I'll explain a little bit further about what we're doing here. So I'm just going to grab this one. So I'm going to control, left click, and drag it to label. So that way I have these labels here. So basically what this is saying, so the green part, so the yellow part is the targeted value that Benford's Law, the formula that they use for Benford's Law, saying, hey, whatever's in this area is considered kind of normal, and anything in the red and the green is kind of abnormal. So that's things that we have to look out for, and definitely anything past is definitely something suspicious. So as we can see, the number 8 has been used a lot. So that means we can further investigate this and see, hey, are these guys actually committing fraudulent accounting errors and everything? Are they doing what's right or wrong? And so we can look further into their books and see, hey, where are all these 8s coming from? Are these correct? And the case may be yes, and the case may be no. And so it's up to us as to discover more about that. The next thing that I need to show you guys is using the statistical toolbox. So the goodness of fit test for digit counts. And so Brother Goodwin should be able to explain more of this to you, but I will show you guys this. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be using accounting government data 4, I believe, same kind of things. You're going to make a leftmost integer, and I don't think you need to make a Benford's law, but for now, just make a leftmost integer. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be dragging leftmost integer into rows, or you can just use this show me button and just click leftmost integer. I guess I'll show it. Leftmost integer, text table, and then you're going to drag leftmost integer into text, but you're going to change it into measure count. And there you go. So now we have this. And what we're going to be doing is going to worksheet, export, crosstab to Excel. And once you do that, you should be able to get something like this. And so what I'm going to be doing is just control, and bring this over, and I'm going to put the observed counts in here, in this part. So digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So things like that. And the next thing that we need to do, so the percent expected, this is something that is very consistent for Benford's law. So these numbers that I'm going to paste here are always consistent, and they should be in the reading. And so you have these numbers, and these are the things that will stand out for you. And so Brother Goodwin will go a little bit more in depth, but the Pearson residual, as you can see, 3,565, that is way more than what, way less. So the observed counts was 18,000. Benford's law expected that there would only be 11,000, but there was way more than what was expected. So that's a little fishy there. So this right here, we could probably just highlight it just like that, and obviously you do your null and alternative hypothesis. And so this would be good for one of the I believe it's one of the deliverables. So that's that part that I wanted to show you guys, and now I wanted to go just a little bit more in depth on what you can do to further investigate. So right now I'm going to be using government data 4, and right now what this visualization right here is doing is looking at the different merchandise descriptions and what's being sold and everything. And then I'm looking into it, as you can see, the card numbers. I'm seeing like how many times has this particular card number gone through this company and bought things like that. And so as we look through this, I sorted it by ascending or descending order from which companies have the most card transactions. And something that's worth looking into is this card number in particular. So as you can see, this card number goes to this place a lot, and they've had 340 transactions. And now what we can do is do the same thing with Benford's law, like this, but with that particular card number. And so just to create Benford's law, this part right here, will always stay consistent no matter what. But when it comes to leftmost integer that we have to create, this is what we can do. So since I already made this before, there's only one thing you have to change. Like with previous data sets, we used number. And the reason why we're using amount is if we go to the data source, we're looking at how much they spent. And so this formula right here is grabbing the leftmost number integer in amount for each of these in this column, things like that. So, and feel free to just explore a little bit more. You just filter out this card number, see where else, see if anywhere else this card number has gone through. So we can all, I guess I could do this right now. So what was this card number? Let's go here. I'm just gonna copy and then drag card number here, and I'm going to search for this particular card number. None. Oh, hold on. I gotta click none first, and then do this, and then click it, and then press OK. And now I can kind of see where this person has been doing a lot of their business, and it seems like they do quite a lot of business, but in particular they do it here with this particular merchant. And so you can see the dates and everything, and see if there's anything fishy, and so on and so forth. And so feel free to explore just a little bit more about Benford's law and and trying to see like if certain cards have um, fraudulent data or not. And so, like, I guess we can do this. Oh, never mind. And we can do the same thing. Yeah. So there we go. There we have it. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be able to do my best to help out. Thanks.